Well rising, well rising, well rising. So today's prayer circle, I'm going to keep the video picture up. I'm going to keep the video picture up because I'm going through a big cold right now and an eye infection. Oh, man. But my voice still works and it's not going to stop me from prayer, y'all. So let's begin with our prayer. Heavenly Father, Mother God, angels of the highest love and light, please surround us with your heavenly white light of protection now. I call you in and ask, just help us open this circle with so much love and hold this circle with so much love. And I ask that you be with us today in everything that we're doing. And I thank you so much for challenging us in the ways that you have challenged us in order to boost our capacity to receive love, to give love, to share love, to know love, to just be love. Thank you so much for teaching us all about love through even also seeing the opposite ways of that so we can know what love is not. I feel much gratitude and thanks for this day. Thank you for another beautiful and wonderful day. Thank you for the elements. I failed to say the elements. Thank you for the water, the air, the space, the earth, the fire, and all the other elements we may not even know about. Thank you. Thank you to the elemental spirits, spirit beings of the heavenly realm. Thank you so much to the angels of the heavenly realm. Thank you to the uh, orishas. I failed to say orishas. Thank you. Thank you to the Christ consciousness. Thank you to the Buddha consciousness, the Christian consciousness, all the consciousnesses that all make up the one great heavenly creator and love. Thank you. And so I just ask for your heavenly protection around the Faith Prayer Circle, around all of the Faith Prayer Warriors and our families and our friends and our communities and everybody that we're connected to as well. Just keeping us safe and in alignment with love as best as we can, as best as possible. I thank you so much. Thank you for keeping us in alignment with our truth, with the highest and best way that is available for us. I call on the master of all things, the master of love within us to be, to radiate, to activate, to illuminate through us, heal us, unite us, strengthen us, develop us in a way that allows us to have a faith that is free from doubt, has no doubt whatsoever. And that always allows us to rely on a relationship with you in love, Yahweh, creator of all things, masterful in all the things that we do, all the things that you do. Thank you for challenging my family and other people in arranging so that our families have more of a prayer warrior calling or practice. Thank you for uniting my family in prayer. And I do ask that it be in other families in prayer. I ask that it be in ways that are in ways that are peaceful, in ways that are easeful, in ways that are fun. and with love. And so it is. In Jesus Christ's name, I like to pray, but I also acknowledge every single faith on this planet based in love. Ashe? So, as I sip on my cacao drink here, it's deep medicine. And I'm giving so much thanks for her. Thank you for this medicine. Mm, delicious, delicious. I'm gonna turn the video on 1 second. Let y'all see what's going on here. See my eye? Ah, I actually have a hot compress here that has been helping bring down the swelling a lot. It was been like, y'all. I went hiking and I think, I rubbed my eye after touching things. Who knows? But I'm gonna release. Anyways, pray for me. Healing quickly. Anyway, so just wanting to put more attention towards the prayer, put more attention towards the prayer and mm, just tuning in right now. A meditation feels aligned. So I want to guide you, settle yourself in the best way you can. Sit up tall, make sure the spine is erect, feet are planted on the ground if you're sitting in a chair. If you're crisscross applesauce, easy pose on the floor or wherever. Wonderful. Either way, if you can bring your palms facing the sky, resting on your thighs, and take a deep breath in here. Really surrender, calming your mind, inhaling the medicine of the air. Every molecule, the quality brings serenity, brings peace, brings healing into the body. And as the air goes into the body, it searches every cell of the body for any trash, any stuckness, anything that does not belong. And as we exhale and we let it out, the trees get to recycle it for us and turns it into something so soul nourishing and healing again. Taking another breath in as naturally as feeling well. And exhale, allow that to come out now. Even go at the rhythm of your own speed, if not the way that I'm guiding. Continuing that inhale and exhaling everything out again. Inhaling again once more and exhaling again. Inhaling once more and exhaling again. Finding silence, focusing on the breath. Now no longer forcing that inhale, but rather witness what I call the breath of ease, the breath that doesn't need our help, that just happens without us having to do anything. So readjust yourself as you need anytime with those forceful breaths of inhale and exhale. And then come back always to the breath of ease, especially when the mind gets distracted in this 5 to 10 minutes of silence, of meditation. The mind gets distracted and you realize you're no longer focusing on the breath. That's okay. Just bring your attention right back to the breath. Okay, and so here we go again. Forceful breathing in and exhale. Observe and witness the breath of ease, the breath that is not needing our help to move, but simply we're just allowing it to be. And we're witnessing, observing, becoming curious about this breath. We're monitoring it, opening up our ears, being willing to listen to it. And I'll be quiet in a minute so you can hear. But again, just a reminder, if your mind goes off distracted by this and that, no worries, no judgment to yourself. Just gently bring your attention right back to observing and watching the breath again. You can even realign with a deep breath in and a deep breath out to continue to find that breath of ease. Let's let's go. Let's continue. here for just a few more moments, a few more minutes. So how was that for you? Go ahead and come back in here. So I want you to just focus on the words that I'm speaking. Listen to the words, listen to what's coming through. I want to share with you a few things that came through in the meditation that I had so quickly. After this, and usually after prayer circle, I dive into a deeper, longer meditation if I don't have anywhere else to go right away. And it gets deep, y'all. It gets pretty deep, and it's so rejuvenating, so healing, so powerful, so enlightening, and stress relieving. But even in 5 minutes, and because I've cultivated a practice over 10 years now, over 12 years now, of meditation practice, it's only gotten better and better and better. And so I can dive deep into the practice and get into the receptivity mode of which meditation is. Prayer is, I've learned over this years, many years, is communicating with God, communicating with the omnipresent, communicating with our spirit team, right? A giving, more of a yang effort, where meditation is the complete opposite. Meditation, I've learned, is a receiving, is a listening, more passive, and a yin kind of effort. Actually, I've even learned that yin and yang, actually, we've had it wrong, that yang is what's considered the more feminine, and yin is considered the masculine. The yang is the active, and, or I'm sorry, the yang is the, yes, yang is the active, and yin is the um, ease. So it's interesting because another culture, right, the culture with which that concept comes from, sees masculine and feminine energy in the opposite way that most of us think. And so it always made me kind of wonder with that, but that's another topic. Let's see. Back to what did I receive from the meditation? What I heard was, now you know what it's like. And Spirit was letting me know pertaining to the sty, the infection that I have on my eye, and a little bit of the cold I'm moving through. And I've always, for myself, had a fear of like getting an eye infection or something like that. But I know at some point, I was bound to experience that. We're human. But Spirit in this meditation was letting me know, now I know what it's like in the sense of having to cultivate a new level of compassion and understanding through And by way of not necessarily anything negative that I've done to attract these kind of things and whatever to myself, but to experience what others are going through, to know what to pray about, what to be able to have compassion about, to hold space for people. But also too, there is a aspect of what we think about comes to light. So to keep our thoughts positive. And I claim today and every day I keep my thoughts positive. And my family, our family, our friends, our health, we are well, we are safe every day. We are highly respected and protected. And I give you the opportunity to cleanse and cancel any other negative thoughts that you've ever had. Clear that now. Ask for forgiveness now. Clear it out of your auric field. We clear it out and replace that with positive thoughts, positive manifestation, keeping our family, our friends, and ourselves safe in alignment with love and grace, in alignment with 100% our authentic self, unapologetically and well. But so I say that to say because the meditation came through in that way, saying, now you know what it's like, right? And I felt to say to somebody, how many times have you been through different things and thought, maybe, why is this happening to me? Or maybe have recognized that it's happening to you so that you can learn something. Whether we're in this woe is me perspective, a victimhood perspective, or can recognize the blessing in the lesson. What can we get out of that? What is it teaching us? How is it strengthening us even? For me, this process of having the infection on my face has been, for me, something even more humbling to me, myself, and helped me let go of a little bit more of hmm, aesthetic um, trappings, so to speak, right? Caring really what people think or holding too much importance on the way that we see ourselves. It's been really, really humbling in that way. And for me, this process, I've had the infection for a couple of days now, and it takes some days to go, they say. And the first few days were, to be honest, I was agitated. I was annoyed. But at the same time, I was feeling immediately refocused on doubling down on my self-care and connecting as I meditated in those days and I connected with source within me, around me. I realized and heard that it wasn't necessarily like karma, so to speak, but only an opportunity for growth. Just like it was months ago when I was in a practice, I was doing some exercise and whatnot, and my just randomly, out of nowhere, energetically, because it didn't make sense in the way that I was moving for it to happen this way, but my knee just went out of place randomly, just went out of place, knocked out of place, and went back in quickly. And it literally felt like an energy moved that. And in that time, it forced me for a whole 2 weeks to sit, lay down, and do nothing, which made me then have to go into a deep meditation within that time. I learned so much about myself. I strengthened, I surrendered, I realigned. There was another time I got a flu, and Spirit, I was very much in a deep meditation at this time, and Spirit really let me know that this flu was intentional by the divine to bring humbling, to bring lesson, to bring teaching, to sit me down at the time, to force the rest that we may not have allowed ourselves. Sometimes some of us have needed an excuse to rest rather than just feeling worthy to give ourselves. the permission to rest, not needing a reason at all, not needing to be sick to rest, not needing to have something happen to somebody, you know, a drama, a calamity, a disaster to happen in order for us to rest. No, we simply just deserve to have rest, rejuvenation, reflection time, meditation time. And we can give that to ourselves anytime. And this was for me, just a reminder of that. But also, I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I knew and I know because the Holy Spirit let me know the moment I had it, this infection on my eye. Spirit was letting me know it's going to get worse. I heard Spirit tell me that it's going to get worse and told me that other people are going to enjoy seeing it because some people around me have needed to see that I too am human and not perfect. And even though I do these things, let me turn the video on as well at the moment. And even though I do these things, you know, taking care of myself and all these different things, right, for my health, my mental, my spiritual, other people, because they lack the security, the self-care, the self-love within themselves, they project and create an ideal within themselves that that is perfection outside of them and that they are not. Or because they, most people, most of you guys don't see the things I go through, I've gone through for many years behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, I've cried many tears. I've suffered so much pains. Man, I've went through hell and back in a certain way and literally in meditations, which is what then created and became the reason why and the bounce back of why I could even have the big smile and the vib high vibration and the glowing skin and the, you know, being able to do these practices and meditation and all the information that I know with herbs and all these things and have this joy within. There has been work, a lot of internal work put into that, but also too things that I've dealt with in my cave whenever I had things happen to me mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, like financially even. I usually go within. I've learned to go within. And I've also learned to reach out for help when needed. I've learned to humble down and reach out for help, but not just physical help. But I've learned that when I've utilized all my resources, I've even learned why wait till I utilize all my resources and my energy and exhausted myself. Immediately call on the divine for help. I've learned this. And not only do things get changed and helped more efficiently, quickly, and less in a less exhausting way, but then also our relationship with God, with the Creator, becomes even more sweet, divine, soul nourishing. And then we also allow for other people around us to be blessed as well, because not only does the Creator answer our prayer for ourselves, but answers prayers underlining our prayer or prayers that include other people, or even in our prayer for ourselves or just for our own loved ones. Many others can be blessed as well. So I ask you to repeat this after me, an affirmation that I have close to me all the time. I call back my power. I call back my soul. Repeat it again. I call back my power. I call back my soul. I call back my power. I call back my soul. How do you feel when you do that? And say that to yourself a few times in silence. Notice what happens, how you feel, how the solar plexus might even change a little bit, right? The adrenal glands gain some more power again, some strength. I encourage you in those times whenever you're going through something difficult I invite you to, rather than, why is this happening to me? Ask, how is this happening for me? Who is this supposed to teach? I was very clear when this happened. The Spirit let me know, first of all, told me it was going to get worse, and the worst already happened. Now it's getting better. And then Spirit told me that I got the worst of whatever the affection was of this kind or something like that. It was a certain thing. And also told me that other people were going to enjoy haters, but also too people who needed to see um, the imperfections. So, so I am so grateful for this. I am so grateful for that which has challenged me so that others can come to faith, can come closer into their faith as well, so they can also feel capable as well and know what is human. And it brings me even to Jesus. Like there's I'm not Christian, but I am a follower, a dedicated follower of Christ and Jesus Christ. And I believe in his example, what he did, what he physically showed us. He showed us that he was a magical person and that we have that capability as a human. He was here on earth showing what the human being body capability, mind, body, spirit connection can do. And one of the reasons why I don't resonate with the Christian churches and the way that they teach about, the Christian way, what Jesus did and everything is because a lot of them don't acknowledge that fact. A lot of them tend to put this put Jesus on a pedestal for some reason, putting Jesus on a pedestal as if he was not one of our brothers and sisters. One of our brothers, Mary too, was one of our sisters. And he was just one who chose to explore, practice, and realize the capability of the divine as a human. And in the way with the New King James Version, almost, I love that. But like I said, we will be going over, and we do have go over the Bible, the New King James Version, but we also always be going over different texts as well that support the inner wisdom as I'm intuitively guided. And also, I am so open to if you have any text or anything that we can go over, email me at faithprayercircles@gmail.com. And so the Christian, the traditional Christian way in most churches and the New King James Version of the Bible and all these things, it took out important texts and stories and information that is spread out across different parts of the world that help us be able to relate to Jesus, that make Jesus human and help us know, okay, we could do it too. They took out those parts and only allowed those parts that make him seem superhuman, super, or just this like unattainable way of living. And I knew as a kid that was not right. I knew something was not right intuitively in church growing up. And then of course, full circle, and I become a medicine woman, a yogini, uh, a teacher of these kinds of things, a practicer, an explorer, a seeker of the capabilities that we have. And I access this. I access these, and more and more and more, I've been accessing and discovering the majestic, mystical, amazing, beautiful, blissful, joyful capabilities, loving, full, vibrant capabilities that seem superhuman, um, that Jesus accomplished and other spiritual masters have accomplished. And as I discover them more and more, it really feels like magic every day. Um, and it's some of them of these things, a lot of these things I've just discovered on accident, and because I was open, to receiving information of the unknown. And a lot of that, though, has not come without struggle or without pains or without a price, so to speak. The price was having to learn lessons and then choosing to choose the better thought, choosing to choose the better accent, choosing to surrender and pray and ask and humble myself and say, I don't know. So what do you know, Creator? And more than that as well, choosing to cultivate faith. It was all a choice. And I think that's what the spiritual masters also teach us and show us that all this is a choice. So I invite you to make that choice within yourself. But do you need to see someone be imbalanced in order for you to gain your health? That's a shame, I feel, but at the same time, I understand. Because sometimes we do need, in order for our faith to grow, we need to see somebody else's struggle. Sometimes we do need to see someone else in pain in order for us to understand or to cultivate compassion, in order for us to feel human or feel that it's capable that we're capable of overcoming. Sometimes we need to see their struggle and how they overcame. And that's okay. That's okay. How do we need, how can we cultivate faith even without having to see other people suffer in order for us to ask the question of how can we thrive? How can we discover and know the best capability of our body, of our spirit, of our soul? That was one of, when I was 18, that was one of the desires that I had in my early 20s. I wanted to know. I had a realization like, wow, we are so magnificent. I wonder, and I felt what a tragedy, for people to pass away and not actually get to experience the capability, the fullness of the capability of the gift that we have, this body. That's what I felt at first. And I realized that we can if we want to, that this body was the first gift that we were given as we were coming onto this planet. And I think it's wonderful. Um, I think it's such a wonderful gift. And most of us only know how to use less than 2% of the capability of this body, of this mind, of this brain, just like we know less than 5%, probably even less than that, right? Of what's in the ocean, or even how to use our phones. There's so many capabilities that our phones can do. Most of us only know less than 5% of what to do with the phone, these smartphones nowadays. So in that way, that's how most of us are ignorant about our own human vitality, capability, right? And so imagine, and in those in history who have access beyond what we all consider the normal, They only access just maybe 0.5% more of their brain or 1% more of their brain, of their capability. And yet we think that's superhuman, super normal, super, super. But really, it's just that they access a little bit more of themselves. So how can we access more of ourselves in our health, high quality? So I ask you, let's go back into this meditation. Dive deeper. I invite you to go deeper. I invite you to ask the question, what does the breath want to tell me? What does the breath want to teach me? And practice listening. Okay? So go ahead and inhaling deeply again, exhaling, roll back the shoulders, sit up tall, you're lengthening the spine. Feet are planted on the ground if sitting in a chair or crisscross applesauce. Hands are facing the sky, resting on the thighs. Releasing the mind. The thoughts do not stop. We're not here to stop thoughts. That's the job of the brain, but rather we can witness, observe them. But we're going to focus on witnessing and observing the breath. And when you do this, you'll notice how the thoughts tend to just kind of ease themselves quiet on their own. But if we get distracted again at any point and we're not focusing on the breath, that's okay. Realignment, take a deep breath in, exhale. Find that breath of ease, the breath that does not need your help to breathe. Simply witness and let it be. And we'll continue. So coming back into the present, the awareness of the moment. How did you feel? How did you feel? I just want to close this circle with just giving thanks and gratitude to the Most High, to the Creator, the Master that's inside of us, that's in all things around us, above us, below us. And I just thank you so much. Yahweh, thank you, Baba, thank you, Mama. Yeah, yeah, Creator of all things. Angels, spirit guides, ancestors, our whole spirit team, beings of love and light, masterful elemental beings, thank you. We thank you, we thank you. And we ask this, please bless all those who are vulnerable, in whatever way they are vulnerable, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, creatively, financially, in any other way that they are. I ask that you step in. We ask for your divine heavenly intervention and for your assistance in helping them in their day-to-day projects, their day-to-day things, their day-to-day capabilities, ensuring that they have a full life of enjoyment, of ease, of peace. And those who are stressed as well, I ask that you please bring peace upon their minds, upon their bodies, ease within their bodies, relieve the pain of many, but also bring the clarity to them in such a way that aligns them with good health, making good decisions for themselves so that they no longer have those pains. Um, Thank you so much for helping them with their mental wealth as well. And thank you for gathering us prayer warriors, our faith prayer warriors together all over the world in such a way so that we all unite our prayer and intention towards the highest good for all in love and with fun. Thank you for every single prayer warrior that you've brought to the circle that is here now and that will ever be. I thank you so much for their dedication. I thank you so much for the collaborations, the friendships, the connections, and the peace. We are holy. We are one, connected always, and it is done. All is well, and I thank you so much, Heavenly Father, Mother God. I thank you guys. I thank you, prayer warriors. Have a wonderful day, my love. Namaste.